At this point we have a part studio that looks like this, and it's got 9 parts in it. And just a reminder that a part studio with a bunch of parts in it is not an assembly. So now we need to make an assembly from this part studio. So let's go to plus, create an assembly, and we're going to insert a part studio, and it is called that for me, and we'll accept that. First thing we want to do is select the bottom either here in the graphics window, or we could select it over here in the feature list, right click and fix it. So we have to have one part in here that's fixed. So just this clearly shows that we don't have a mated assembly. I can drag that out easily, so I'll Control Z to get that back. But here's an awesome feature of Onshape. So what we want to do now is come over here to the feature list and select all the parts of the structural part of the box. We'd have the back, the bottom, the side, the other side, and the top. And come up here to this awesome command here called group. So I'll click there and I'll accept that. What that does, it applies a fasten mate to every part that is in that group. So I'm going to rename this group to box structural. And now I don't have to make all those fasten mates one by one on each of the parts. Similarly, we can come over here and we can select all the parts of the axle system. So the axle collar, the crank arm peg, and group those together because those are going to be attached with fasten mates as well. And so I'll rename that group in case I need to find out what's going on later. That's going to be the axle system. Now everything's mated together except the axle system can move relative to the box, structural box. So what do we do now? Well, we want this axle to be able to rotate inside this hole. So what we want to do here is we want to make a Revolut Mate between the axle and the box. So to make that easier, I am going to turn off the visibility of the axle collar. There we go. Come over here and okay, let's Revolut Mate here. So we'll zoom up here, and right in the middle of the axle we'll click, and then we'll come over here, and similarly it's right there. And we're going to have an offset. We want that to stick out 0.25 inches. And let's see, if we click the front view, we can see that looks okay. All right. So I've just made a Revolut Mate between the axle system and the structural box. And let's see if that will rotate. So right click, animate. I'm going to change the steps to 100 to make it go a little faster, and I'm also going to have it loop. So if we press, there it goes. We can't really tell if it's rotating because there are no features on here, but we will add the cams next, and then we'll be able to tell if it's rotating. So that is a fully constrained automata without the cams yet. We'll do that soon.